assistance animals. What first pop-ups in your mind? You probably think about a dog guiding a guest with vision loss. But the truth is, assistance animals can help guests with different types of disabilities. In this lesson, you'll learn about what an assistance animal is, why they are important, and tips to create a safe and comfortable experience for guests with assistance animals. Assistance animals are specifically trained to perform specialized tasks for a person with a disability. For example, they can signal certain sounds, open or close the doors, remove things from the ground as they walk, alert seizure attacks, and so on. In many countries, assistance animals are often dogs. However, in others, like the States, they could be miniature horses, pigs, or monkeys. So check your local laws to make sure you got the right idea. It's crucial to remember that assistance animals are not pets. They are like the guest's eyes and ears. In other words, they are working. Make sure you let them do their job. So how would you do that? I've got 4 handy tips to help you serve a guest with an assistance animal. Firstly, stay relaxed. Generally, assistance animals are well trained, focused, and disciplined. So they are very unlikely to cause any harm to you or other guests. Always remind yourself about that and just stay relaxed. Secondly, clarify with relevant questions. When a guest first enters your venue with an animal, you can greet them as usual. If the guest has visible disabilities, like vision loss, you can safely assume their companion is an assistance animal. Assistance animals in many countries are legally allowed inside facilities. So I recommend you research the laws in your region. After you have welcomed the guest, you can ask them 2 questions to clarify. 1. Is this assistance animal required because of a disability? There are 3 possible answers to this question. No. Yes, it's an emotional support animal. And yes, it's an assistance animal. If the guest answers no, you can refer to your workplace policy for allowing pets inside the venue. If the guest says yes, it's an emotional support animal, you should note that in many regions, emotional support animals are considered pets because they don't undergo the same level of rigorous training as assistance animals. In either case, if the guest becomes upset or challenges your venue's policies, you can call your manager for help. If the guest says yes, it's an assistance animal, you can follow up with the next question. What task is your assistance animal trained to do? Generally, if the animal is truly an assistance animal, the guest will briefly explain the tasks to you. Do note that some countries require assistance animals to be certified, but others don't. I recommend you look up your local legislation. It's also important to refrain from asking further questions at this point. Sharing about disability is a private thing, and asking questions about the guest's disability and their assistance animals beyond this can be very rude. My 3rd tip is avoid distractions. When you see an assistant dog, for example, you might want to pet, wave at, or talk to them. However, remember that they are not pets and need to focus to safely support your guests. If you need to assist the guest, stay on the opposite side of them from their assistance animal. It's also worth noting that assistance animals might have specific diets, so don't offer them random food without the owner's permission. Lastly, notice if the animal acts strangely. As I mentioned previously, assistance animals are well trained and focused. If, for example, an assistance dog suddenly barks at you, it might be a sign the dog is seeking help for their owner. In this case, follow the dog to see if the guest needs your support. If an animal seems unruly or aggressive and affects the business, you likely have the right to ask the guest to take the animal outside. Now it's over to you. Research your workplace policy about assistance animals so you can provide guests with accurate information when needed. As regulations differ around the world, Check your local guidelines and legislation. Lastly, when a guest comes in with an assistance animal, remember these 3 points. Assistance animals are helping your guests. They are not pets. Stay relaxed, clarify with relevant questions, and avoid distractions. And notice if the animal acts strangely. Your guest might need help.